All right. It's alive. Oh, I left that up. Okay. So that was not. Welcome to the Russel Journal. I'm Russell Liss. How are you guys all doing tonight? This is my journey from 10 to $1 million. So, yeah, a lot less technical difficulties tonight. All right. So, all right, let's start off with a recap of what happened today. So, today I thought, the fix was in. I had that money from my father that we've been talking about, that wonderful gift from him we had that wonderful gift from him. And it settled in the account today. So we were able to take on a trade, and a much better trade today. I traded IWM, bought puts on it for 197.5. Caught the move from about 198.5 down to about 198 or 197.5. Was just a one single put position. So that yielded us about a $33 gain. That should be right there. With our $33 gain, hey, pretty good as far as I'm concerned. I'm very happy with that. It was about a 20% win for the position I bought, and it's about a 15% gain for the entire account. So overall, pretty win. So the other thing, yesterday I talked about how I failed. I lost the original $10 I put in there and started over again. And I felt the need to start over again, scrounged through my couch and my drawers and all that other sort of stuff, and also in my dresser, anyway, pulled together another $10, went ahead, deposited that in the bank. Now, I did go to deposit that money into the Webull account today, and you can only deposit like $50 at a time into Webull, so I had to deposit an entire $50 into Webull. So we will use that money again tomorrow. But as far as it goes, the other $40 puts me in a weird spot because I got bills to pay, and $40 pays one of my bills. So I got to figure out how to compensate for that $40 that came out. Either raise that on the side somewhere else, and find something to sell, some work to do, stuff like that. Okay. So we're going to get rid of that. All right. So talk about kind of like what's happening or what has happened in the markets today. And, yesterday we had Facebook have a massive loss, huge hit on earnings. And to be honest with you, I really want it to be the end of Facebook. A company I don't like, a product that I use because I feel like I have to, like I'm forced to use it. I don't like Facebook. I don't care about the censorship issues. What I do care about is that on a psychological perspective, Facebook is very bad, and it's very bad. People don't know this about me, but before I became a day trader, I was studying to be a neuroendocrinologist. And as far as I can tell from what I've gotten into, as far as the brain functions and the hormones in the brain, Facebook is super bad in every context. Doesn't matter whether it's good news or bad news. You were never meant to be social through a computer screen, So anyway, that's my personal opinion on it. So to see them take this hit brings me a little bit of joy. Maybe it shouldn't, but it does. And I know there's a lot of people with jobs over there. So I really hope, you find a better company to work for. Honestly, that's the truth. All right. So then what happens? So Facebook pretty much pulls down all of the averages today. And the indexes, and then really things are looking real bad, and then they get worse when the Bank of England raised their interest like a little bit. I think it was like a tenth of a point or something like that. Very small. Anyway, so things go from bad to even worse. Things start pulling back even further. And when that happens, I catch a nice little technical bounce up. I short off that technical bounce. I close the position, and thank God I did, because at the end of the day, here comes Amazon to save the day. Amazon just murders it with I mean, just AWS alone was like something like $27 per share or something like that in earnings, and the estimate was like $3 per share in earnings. So Amazon kills it, starts pushing the averages back up. This is probably going to get the bulls, between, okay, so you got Microsoft, you got Google, and you got Amazon. And then you got Apple, right? So you get these four companies right now are single-handedly saving America and the American stock market. And so I would expect to see those four. I would expect to see everything kind of rally off of that tomorrow, but you really can't tell, right? So anyway, let's go ahead. Let's jump into the trade plan for tomorrow. Let's go ahead and do that. And I got to jump back over here. We'll go screen share. Oh, let me open up. All right. Let's do this really fast. All right. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Market Watch. We're going to find out what economic data we're getting tomorrow. Okay. Share screen. Market Watch. Next. All right. We're going to jump into Market Watch. We're going to look at and see what they got going on for Friday. Anything good? What's the data for Friday? Okay, so we get the non-farm payrolls. We get the unemployment rate and the average hourly earnings month to month. And I don't know what the labor for participation. All right, so that's basically what we have coming in for tomorrow. I'm gonna expect the non-farm payrolls. I don't know. I'll have to do some research on those non-farm payrolls. Now let's jump over to really quick. Let's go Dow futures. Is this the right one? I think this is the right one. Let's run over here. Dow futures. Okay. So the Dow took a pretty hard hit today. Right now they're bouncing up plus 141, plus 45. Holy shnikes. No, that can't be right. The NASDAQ is up almost 300 points. Well, shiver me timbers, that is a rally. Implied open is plus 268. That is hot. Okay, so NASDAQ expects to see some bullish action. Well, I don't know. Okay, so this is what makes this thing so hard. These guys, I'm going to stop screen sharing. I'll come back to you. So, seen a lot where things rally up hard into the after hours in the pre-market, and then they just sell off through the rest of the day. They haven't, it hasn't behaved the way it should behave, or like the way they have been behaving. So it was really funny because we get the Fed announcement and everything runs up and then tanks after the Fed announcement, right? Big surprise that the Fed was going to do what they said they were going to do. So you guys are shocked, right? So then you get the Fed announcement, and that shouldn't happen. Well, then yesterday the unemployment number should have come in and should have been pretty damn good, and sure enough, we've got even less people on unemployment, and so that should have brought everything up, but it didn't. and you'd think they would have driven everything up ahead of that announcement, and they didn't. Nothing drove up on that. The only thing that really carried anything up, has been earnings of the few big companies. And at this point, now that we've got Microsoft reported, Amazon reported, Google has reported, I think Apple has reported. If Apple has reported, there's a pretty good chance that now that the big four have reported, it's just going to be bludgeoning after bludgeoning at this point. So, the fintech guys are taking a sheer ass whooping. PayPal got bludgeoned. And so, a lot of it's just going to drag things down, I would think. But, but it's already, it's come back. It tried to make a comeback, and then it sort of flattened out here. So I don't know what, who fucking knows. It just at this point, I have to watch the technicals, I don't think that anybody can tell you what it's going to do. And there'll be, and this is something that and this is what I started this show about, is you have these guys who are recapping the market, and everything is so smart and everything's so sharp in hindsight. But looking forward, none of us knew how the market was going to react to any of this, or why it was going to react. I had one guy talking about Facebook, and the only reason you got such a big sell-off on Facebook is because the algorithm, the quantitative traders, there's a thing, anyway, you can look that up, quantitative trading and algorithm trading. The algorithms just literally shuffled it down straight in a seamless straight line. So it was really, really interesting that they could do that. Now, the real question is, my thoughts is Facebook going to rip back up there? Is everybody going to see Facebook at a discount now? And, I don't know. I would say logic would dictate, yes. Logic would dictate that you're an idiot for not buying a call way out of the money on Facebook for the end of February. That's what logic would dictate, because come on, it's still a big company. It still has lots of employees. It still has revenue, and, does that mean that you should invest in Facebook for the long-term future? I don't know. I'm not an investor, so it's a stupid question anyway. So, maybe, but I'm definitely going to be shopping calls. I'll be shopping calls on Facebook because I think there's an opportunity there to catch the move back up. It shouldn't have plummeted the way it plummeted. But in that being said, when it did that, created a massive bunch of bag holders. So I would imagine there'll be a lot of people risking off at this point. So, all right. So that's how it goes for me. I'm going to watch Facebook tomorrow. That's going to be a big one for me to see if it starts to rally. I'm going to watch, man, I'd love to be able to take advantage of Amazon. So, but I'm going to watch Facebook tomorrow. I'll be watching IWM, obviously. Keep an eye on SPY, QQQ, and also the short versions, SQQQ and TQQQ. Kind of see what happens in the short side. Looking for the VIX to really make a move down, although it's headed in the upward direction now. We got to bounce up. So above 24 today, a couple of them double top in there. So I'll be watching these guys to see what I can do. And so, yeah, guys, I am running out of steam here. So I'm going to let you go for the Russel Journal. This is, I'm Russell Liss, and this has been 10 to a million. So I guess pretend I said some sort of catchphrase.